Alright guys, so I'm just going to go ahead and label this 1.34 because there was a lot of stuff that I overlooked that I had to fix today, so that's what I did this morning. So character held objects were not triggered for their specific weapon tags. That's been fixed. IK retargeter settings. Well, let me just go through these one by one. The character held objects were not tagged for their specific weapon tags, right? So if I come in here, I can show you that. If we come over here, you'll see that these are named held object state pistol M9, rifle M4A1. They were just labeled state pistol, state rifle. It was just a generic thing. And so if we, let's see, if I just come over here into, say, the metahumans, I'll open up the bodies and show these to you as an example. So I made the same changes on that. Now on the Killin, I actually didn't add this to it, but I actually fixed this as well. On Killin, his pistol was set to the correct action data, but his rifle was not set to the correct action data. In case you didn't know, the metahumans, under animation assets, we have a female and a male, and these have the fixed fingers for them. And also their gun stuff is all based off of this. So I haven't actually included these into the project, but I'll probably include these at a later date. I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, the point is that I fixed that on the Killin. And then the IK retargeting settings were only being updated by linked anim layer stance changes. Right, so if we go into the linked anim layers, you'll see that right here, when the held object stance changes, we update the held object stance on the character blueprint. And over here, this is the update held object stance. It updates the stance, but then it also sets the IK retargeter settings. This updates the live retargeting settings, the held object offset, and the live retargeter settings, the bone chain settings. So over here on the, Jesus Christ, people are running in and out today. Let me just open this up. Sorry, people are distracting me over here. There's a lot of noise outside. Yeah, so over here on the weapon changing, the update held object state, anytime the state is updated, I'm just going to go ahead and update the held object stance now as well. And that should update regardless if it's a server or the client. I actually didn't consider that. So that may or may not actually be properly replicated. Yeah, I don't think this is actually properly replicated, guys. I might end up having to go back and replicate that. I haven't checked that. I only just now realized. Let me see. Seems to be replicated. Okay. If there's any, I might have to go back and just double check everything to make sure everything is being updated here. But it seems like it is. So if I run into any problems or if any of you guys notice anything, let me know. So the weapon cycle setup was only cycling right and never left. That was fixed. I'll go ahead and go over that. So basically, for one, I had the modifier, the negate modifiers on the wrong ones. And also, let's see, did I make a change to this? Jesus Christ, let me mute my phone because my camera's going off outside. Somebody's moving around a lot. Okay, so yeah, I didn't change anything in here. Let's see. Yeah, so this is basically where the change was, and I forgot to disconnect that. My bad. But yeah, basically what I needed to do is I had it firing on started, but this actually needed to be triggered. In order for this action value to have any value, it needed to be set to triggered. The reason why that doesn't spam by pressing it is because we have that pressed modifier. So that pressed modifier prevents it from being spammed. And that's the reason why we can use triggered without it spamming it. So that's how I fixed that. Now the leg layering has been reconnected, right? As y'all are aware, if you've been following, I disconnected this because there was a problem. And then I ended up running into that problem whenever we would play montages too. So I realized that the feet were sliding backwards ever so slowly after a montage would play. And come to find out, it was actually the foot plant on the foot placement node. So I've temporarily bypassed their settings in here until that's fixed or something. I'm pretty sure that's a bug. So basically it's set to lock with pivot around ball. This right here, I've set the unplant radius to 0, which is kind of redundant because I have the unlocked. I have it set to unlocked. So that basically just disables foot locking. It was causing problems anyway, where whenever you would turn fast, the feet would drag behind them, and that's how it was in the original GASP the 5.5 version they released. So that wasn't something I did. That was something in their system. But it was also causing issues whenever we would play a montage for some weird reason. I wonder if it was doing the same thing after mantling or vaulting. I never actually checked that because those are played as montages. It may have been. I don't know. I'd have to go back to confirm that. But I know whenever I was playing montages on mine after, with my layering setup, it was messing up. So yeah, I disconnected this too. I went ahead and left it there as a reference. And I renamed these, I fixed if we go to the action data, the rifle fire montage was actually pointing to the old upper body slot, and I changed it to point to the correct one. So in case you weren't aware, I've categorized these slots. So these slots are categorized now. This also will throw a warning if you try to set a montage to play the animation on slots that are not in the same group. So you'll have to pick these two If you want to do a full body slot, a full body additive, then you'll have to play it on these two. And if you weren't aware, the reload animations are playing on those two slots. And you can look at this. This is a local space additive, and this is not an additive. That's a method I picked up from Lyra, and it works pretty good. So I decided to just go ahead and run with that. I mean, I'm using their reload animations and fire animations anyway. So as far as the fire montage, oh my God, I hate that whole click here and drag the entire window thing. I wish they would fix that. But yeah, so if the pose that he's in is, if it matches so if these are additives and the pose that he's in matches the pose, the overlay pose, then whenever they play, then it's actually okay to just play it on this slot. Otherwise, I would suggest playing it like I'm playing the rifle reload and the pistol reloads. So that's just a quick breakdown and explanation on that. Yeah, so the old unused slots were removed. Code utilizing it was removed. The rifle fire montage, yes, I already covered that. That's basically the rundown on it, guys. That's 1.34. I decided to just go ahead and label that as 1.34 rather than a hot patch because there were several fixes in there and I wanted to go over them with you guys. So I only do these overview videos whenever I release an official new version of the project. That's why I went ahead and labeled it as an official update, and I'll see you in the next video.